Hey everybody, it's Deb. Welcome to my channel, Free Spirit Intention, and today we're going to be doing the new moon in Scorpio. But before we get started with that, I want to thank everybody that has sent love and light, healing energy to my striker. If we all remember, the last 3 months have been pure hell. Um, his blood work 3 months ago was 1 to 18, which is not good because it was at 1 to 4 or 6 or something like that. But I just got his blood work back today and it's 1 to 2. He has gone from 1 to 18 all the way down to 1 to 2. I have been ecstatic all day. I want to thank everybody that has sent healing and loving and light and everything that they have sent to Stryker. And all the support that you've given me because I have been a basket case for the last 3 months. And the vet wanted was saying I should think about putting him down. And I was like going, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. It's not time. It's not time. Um, do was it because I thought that it wasn't time, or I don't, where I had always said that I could, if I wouldn't let my dog suffer, it's got to be one of the most hardest things to have to do. He's 17, so he's getting up there, but that old age is not the reason to put a dog down. So, anyways, and also, I want November is just about booked up, guys. If you want your personal readings, it's $50 for one oracle card and then the clarification, and hopefully that you get some angel numbers out of the clarification cards. So November and just well, November is just about booked up, and then I have some more slots in December. So if you want a reading, this is a good to do. But um, if you want it done, you guys need to DM me or whatever, and to get yourself scheduled in. Okay, I will try to accommodate everybody as much as I can. So just make make time to message me if you want that personal reading. Okay, so let's get on to it. What we're really here for. This is about the new moon in Scorpio. My moon's in Scorpio. I have a sun Aries. My sun sign's Aries, and my moon sign is Scorpio. Yes. Yeah. So, anyways, this is happening November 19th, 20th. It's 20th, but they're saying 19 and 20. So, what does Scorpio teach us about shadow work? Okay. Ruled by Pluto and Mars, Scorpio brings us face to face with raw truth of life. It's a water sign. It gives us the courage to face our entire selves, every shadow, every truth, every hidden aspect of who we are. It's to be honest about our energy, our patterns, and our desires. Yes, everything that has been hidden is going to be exposed. Your shadow holds everything that was too overwhelming and too much intense and painful when you first experienced it. Parts of yourself you've hidden away, those parts, the emotions you were taught were too much or wrong or anything, the aspects of you being things that you were ashamed of and never acknowledged. Scorpio teaches you, or us I should say, the shadow controls you only when they remain hidden, meaning that you have to bring them to the surface and then release, or you're going to be stuck in the same loop and being the same quote person. When you acknowledge with compassion and courage, they transform into sources of incredible strength, which is very, very, very true. You have to acknowledge them. Yeah. You must first confront them, one way or another. Scorpio season chooses to do shadow work before these hidden energies create chaos. It's going to come out some way, guys. We free ourselves to build our intentions on a sturdy foundation. Shadow work represents some of the deepest, most essential work we can do on ourselves. Without it, we find ourselves stuck in the loop of repeating patterns, wondering why we keep attracting the same situations or sabotaging our own success. Going deep within and facing our darkest shadows, can we break these conditional patterns and step into our highest potential? The key to this is transformation. It lies in your willingness to stay present. When emotional surges, when old patterns surface, we fear. It tries to take the wheel. It returns us. You need to return to your breath. Return to your body. You need to ground yourself. When these things come up, when these surges start affecting you, because they're going to, you need to ground yourself, instantly ground yourself, rather than just sweeping them under the table, because it's going to come out sooner or later in some, poor fashion. And they're saying that the shadows hold the key to our transformation. Hidden parts of ourself, the emotions you packed away, the aspects you rejected, the patterns that control you from behind the scenes, are waiting to be discovered and integrated. Yeah, we've got to bring those up. We've got to know and learn. Scorpio brings a powerful activation of intuition, emotional debris, and face your shadows. You unlock hidden doorways to your inner wisdom during this Scorpio new moon. The challenge is learning to trust what you know and what you need to let go. The new moon in Scorpio is a portal of reflection and renewal, asking you to pause in the depths of transformation before moving ahead with your intention. You know what that means? That means go within. This is about going within. It's not necessarily starting something externally. We need to focus on ourselves inside, because we have several planets that are in retrograde. Go within before you go without. Okay, now, when you go in there, you will find patterns that you discovered, or that you have brought them to the surface. What emotions and different emotions have you brought, from deep inside, from your core? Yeah, I mean, it's whew. During the new moon offers a different lens through which to examine your journey. Mercury retrograde asks you to review your thought patterns and communication styles. Jupiter retrograde expands your understanding of emotional patterns and family dynamic. Saturn retrograde in Pisces demands you take responsibility for your spiritual growth. Neptune retrograde reveals where illusion has clouded your vision. Uranus retrograde shows where you've been resisting necessary change. With so many aspects in retrograde, this new moon might feel a bit overwhelming. Yeah, I would say so. Trust that every planet, every aspect, every retrograde is conspiring to help you become more of who you're meant to be. Yeah, it's really this one is a really, rebirth, true, but the rebirth has come from inside yourself. It's not going to be a materialistic rebirth. It's a rebirth of your own soul, your own self. Scorpio understands that the power comes from patience. Shadow work at its finest, patience, power, and ultimate liberating. Astrological influences on the new moon in Scorpio. The new moon in Scorpio is one of the most aspected new moons of the year, creating a cosmic energy. Yeah, a deep cosmic energy. The most significant aspect of this lunation is the exact conjunction among the new moon, the sun, and the Mercury retrograde. The triple conjunction in Scorpio creates an extremely potent moment for mental and emotional processing. It has nothing to do with external, it has everything to do with internal. The new moon in Scorpio conjuncts Mercury retrograde doesn't want you to move forward with typical new moon intention. It wants you to review and revise first. Mercury retrograde often gets a bad reputation as a terrible time for setting intentions, but it actually is a perfect time for setting intentions if you approach it as being an internal shift rather than external manifestations. What I was telling you a little bit before this. Pose Uranus retrograde in Taurus. The opposition creates creative tension between Scorpio's desire for transformation and Taurus's need for stability. Yes. Yes, so that you can see where the tension is lying there. Create stability through change rather than despite, put walls up against it. Uranus retrograde has been showing you where your attachments to security creates insecurity. With a Mercury retrograde opposing it, you can finally understand and communicate these insights. It's where your security creates insecurity. You see what I'm saying? The attachments to that. Pluto offers you a glimpse of how your personal shadow work contributes to your collective healing, empowers you to transform personal wounds into collective medicine and see how your individual evolution serves humanity. Yeah, that's what Pluto's going to do for you, or do for us, I should say. Trine Jupiter retrograde in Cancer, sextile Saturn retrograde in Pisces. This is all figuring into the new moon in Scorpio. That's why I'm giving you all this information. It all figures out into it's all pushing the new moon into what we're so used to the new moon meaning and what it is affecting by being in Scorpio with all these other things around it. The grand water triad between the new moon, Jupiter retrograde, and Saturn retrograde creates a powerful circuit of emotional and spiritual energy. Water triad allows energy to flow effortlessly. You have access to deep emotional wisdom, Jupiter in Cancer, spiritual discipline and maturity, Saturn in Pisces, and transformation power, the new moon in Scorpio. Let me repeat that again. This is how the new moon is going to affect with all this other stuff, how it's connecting to the new moon in Scorpio. Emotional wisdom, deep emotional wisdom, Jupiter in Cancer, spiritual discipline and maturity, Saturn in Pisces, and transformational power, new moon in Scorpio. Interesting, huh? How all that is just all blended together. The Grand Trine is like a cosmic pool Step into the water and allow yourself to be transferred at the deepest level. Jupiter retrograde in Cancer adds family matters, family patterns to the mix, while Saturn retrograde in Pisces asks you to take spiritual responsibility for your healing. Interesting. Okay. How to work with the new moon in Scorpio. The Scorpio new moon and retrograde energy demanding extra care and created sacred space. Mercury retrograde conjuncts the lunation and several other planets moving backwards. You need to create a space that can act like a sanctuary, strong enough for transformation, gentle enough to cradle vulnerability. The new moon in Scorpio, as you focus on shadow integration from the perspective of revisioning rather than revolutionizing. Look at the patterns you tried to change before. What needs a different approach? Have you been unclear about what you actually want, or what you want to let go, or what you want to start? During this new moon in Scorpio, you're going to have strong intuition, but you've got to remember to keep yourself grounded. Scorpio season presents inner work. The magic is already within you. Scorpio simply brings the key to unlock it. That's pretty cool. I like that saying. Inner work. Because you know what, this change is going to happen. So why not choose to be active participants in your own evolution instead of being somehow, because it's going to come up, the chaos is going to come up some way, somehow. Remember, you are stronger than anything, any kind of darkness that is brought onto you. You are stronger than any of it. You have the power to face any truth about yourself and transform into your wisdom. Now, we're just about at the end of this. The new moon on November 19th, 20th. It's a fresh start and spiritual cleansing. Spiritually, it represents a clean slate. The things to look out for: be mindful of your actions and avoid making rash decisions like quitting something important or declining new opportunities out of the blue. This period is associated with aligning your energy for personal growth. Be mindful of energy of the new moon and try not to quit anything. Like I said, here it goes. Avoid don't avoid new people and opportunities, but there's the energy, the ones that suck the energy. Let's see. Watch for energy drainers. It's advisable to avoid spending time with energy suckers and to focus on your own energy and well-being. Okay, guys, this was a lot of information of the new moon in Scorpio on November 19th, 20th. I appreciate your time. Peace be with you all. Until the next time, guys, have a good one. Be good to each other.